Okay, today we're going to be working a little bit on the fretboard, and what we've got is a piece of the Macassar Ebony that's going to be the fretboard on the guitar we're working on. And this is a raw piece, and what we want to do is put a radius on it, a 16-foot or 16-inch radius, to put some curvature to it so that it has this shape right here. So we're going to head out to the garage where we made up a special jig that'll do that for us. So go ahead and follow us out to the garage. Okay, the first step's going to be to run it through the planer and get it fairly close to what our final is going to be. We got it planed down, and so now we're going to just get it nice and smooth and flat. So we're going to run it through the drum sander a few times, get it a little bit closer to our finished size. Alright, we're ready to put a radius on this fretboard now, and so we've got this fancy jig that we made up, and what we're going to do is we're going to mount the, actually we put, this is painter's tape, and we've got the tape both on the surface of the jig, and we've got it on the back of the fretboard, and this was a trick that John found on YouTube. You tape both surfaces, and then you apply super glue to one of the surfaces, or both of the surfaces, and then you can attach them together. That'll hold it in place while we put the radius on the fretboard, and then at the end we'll be able to just peel the tape off, and the glue will come off with the tape. That way we don't have to buy double stick tape, which is kind of expensive. So John's got the accelerator for the super glue. Going to give it a blast there and put the two surfaces together. We do have a line on the jig. It's the center line, and it's hard to see on the video here, but we do have a center line also drawn down the center of the fretboard so that we can get it nice and centered on the jig. We'll press it down in place and let it dry for a minute or so, and it should be good to go.
In the meantime, talk about this nice jig that you built.
The way the rest of the jig works, we've got a carriage that's going to sit over top of the fretboard and just slide back and forth. And on this carriage we've got some wheels that are mounted, and these are from a what do you call those, closet casters for the sliding closet doors, and those are all just lined up flat. They're on the same level as the bottom plane. The trick to this jig is on the part that we've got bolted to the router, we've got a 16-inch radius cut here, and that matches the 16-inch radius we want to put onto the fretboard. And so this radius rides along these wheels and moves the router in an arc path over our fretboard to give a mirror image of that radius that we have cut there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start at one end and we're going to ride back and forth over the fretboard till we get down to the end, and then we'll do some long passes from one end to the other to get everything nice and clean.
And the router bit is set to...
The router bit is set to the final depth. We've got a piece of an old fretboard that we cut, and so what we're doing is using that as a key. We bring the router bit down to rest right on top of that, and that gives us the exact height that we want our router bit set at. So I'm going to go ahead and step back, and John's going to get the routing going on this, and I'll kind of record it as we go along. Do we need to get the vacuum cleaner running? I think we'll be good without that. Okay, after John hit us with the radius block, looks nice and smooth. Looks like it's got a nice radius to it. Now we'll hit it with some finer sandpaper, and then we'll pop it off of there and measure it to make sure it's nice and even on all sides, and call it done. Okay, we got a lot of hand sanding done. Went through the different grits, sandpaper, and we've got a little bit of a sheen on it now. I think it's pretty. We'll go ahead and pop it off of there and check it out.
It's easy to come off. A little system. Stick 'em now.
All right. Okay, well, that part's done. We'll come back to this later on when we get ready to cut it to the right shape and cut the fret slots and put frets on it. That'll be a step way down the line.